It is almost midnight. Larry is clearing up the papers on the table. Frank observes that workspace. Some tidy bookshelf. A cabinet with Larry's award, a laptop, and some pictures are displayed on a table. These are your friends, Larry? Frank pointed at one picture. Larry's approach. That's Gary. Frank took a closer look. Captain was right. You both look similar. The difference only in the eyes. You're blue, and he is brown. Frank is interested in another photo. The one with 4 standing people. It has a chopper as the background. From left, there were Gary, huddling up Larry, then a woman, and a man holding a helmet. Who are they? She's Mary Olson. She resigned from the policeman and now lives in New York. And the man next to her is Steve. They were often here. We used to be together a lot. But soon after Gary's gone, we've split. But we had a deal to be here again next fall. Nice friendship, Frank sincerely said. More than that. We were an elite team, Larry smiles, remembering the past. A team? Captain Brock formed us. You can say a special one, a secret team dash. We were experts in our own skills. Like Steve, he could almost handle all kinds of weapons, including throwing the knife. While Mary, she's good at communicating. Gary was the mechanical engineer. And me, the computer, Larry explained. So, why the team has not been reformed once more? Officially not, but we are making it slowly now. You are actually appointed to replace Gary. Jane will take over Mary's place. It's the other Steve we're still searching, said Larry. Who will be the master in shooting? Frank asks again. Everyone. We all should good at guns and disguise. You're certainly aware that to be elected in this team, we have to pass a test first. Frank scratched his head, seemed to clearly understand. By the way, Frank said, why you help me? Never crossed in mind someone like you, a man who in charge of a reputable team and the highest-ranked detective, accept me as a partner without any protest. Let's say, Larry smiles. I'm a nice guy who is willing to give you a chance. Frank laughed. He takes the next photo. And this man? It Mr. Najiro photo. Now, he is a professor in Tokyo University. He taught me the computers since childhood, Larry replied. He had lived in America? Yes, he worked for my father company when he studied at MIT. Does he have a child? Yes, Mr. Najiro has one about my age. We are best friends. Is she pretty? I mean, you know, Frank teasing. Larry answered, yet then giggled suddenly. Hey, what's so funny about? Nothing, Larry blurted, but it's hard for me to imagine his son as a girl. That's all. Frank's face turned to crimson, as red as a turkey cock. Having 2 national parks, perhaps Wyoming, is one of the most beautiful places in America. Yellowstone National Park stated Montana and Idaho. Yet it included about 96% of this park area in Wyoming's territory. By the complete almost 9,000 kilos cited, Yellow National Park's becoming the oldest national park in the world, all at once becoming the living place for wolves, deers, and even grizzlies. The Yellowstone caldera, a volcanic caldera which knows as a supervolcano after successfully informing in a science program at BBC. Yellowstone National Park mostly famous for its geyser, Old Faithful, and hot fountain head. Concerning why the fountain is named such, because it would spittle hot water for 5-minute long every 35 till 120 minutes, making a warm drizzle around it. But for Larry, things will be more attractive by winter, when the snows have been kept coming and covering the whole land. Yellowstone looked magical in its own way. There were only 2 colors. The shade of azure looks like, and cold white harmonically blends with the shadow of trees. Frozen along the wind blue. More like congealed soldiers at one side, yet like delicate pieces of cotton at another. While at afar, where the forest seemed dense, Black Hills vignette. The lower land left behind shivering pine and thin ice on the lake. Besides Aspen, Larry usually spends his winter at this place. Skiing, hiking, or just having relaxed at one of the Old Faithful bases. Frank admitted that it has been Yellowstone before. George brings them to the other national park, Grand Teton. It's situated northwest of Wyoming. The mountain ranges of Teton firmly explained on the plateau of Idaho and Wyoming. Grand Teton is the highest between its peaks, approximately 13,000 feet up the sea surface. From the parking area, people can see a 9 to 10 mile running path. Crossing a chasm, landslide trace, 2 slopes, a gap between 2 mounts, and a climbing straight to the peak. The height of Lupin Meadows will be like 15,000 feet. The last 700 feet area will take hours walking. Because the time is limited, both Larry and Frank decide to follow the touring track, not forgetting to take pictures. Larry is busy with his handy cam, while Frank is moving here and there with his camera, framing Rocky's mountain range. Valleys and rivers, which flowing was pretty scenery at the Teton Range, Jackson Lake. Dark blue mountains, the green from the forests, reflecting at the pure cold lake. Mixed, free, with the horizon. At fall like this, the mixture of flowers, yellow, purple, red, and not forgetting the grass spread on a hill. A waterfall showed its beauty between the rocks. The winding road ended at a ranch, which could be used for a touring post. Offering hospitality, a cozy place to take a breath, lamented among the pine trees. When fall was coming, their leaves turned the forest into yellow, making an excellent panorama, which also remarkable. "I love this place," Larry said, mentioning with all of his soul right after the tour was over. Frank smiled understandingly. Larry loves Wyoming not only because of its beautiful nature but also its calming atmosphere. Wyoming is an oasis for him, the best escape from all problems. "I wish we could back here at any time we want to. I would never get bored seeing this, although it's just my opinion." Frank said nothing. Larry closed his eyes, taking the air as much as he can, exhaled it slowly. "For me, it's heaven. Isn't it?" Kevlar. "What?" Frank confused. Larry pointed at Frank's word puzzle. "Stronger than the steel, Stephanie Kwolek. You know, right? A material to make a vest that protects us from bullets." Frank's agape with surprise. Larry spent his time filling the puzzle. Well, that was progress. Frank again smiled, happy to write the answer Larry gave. "Yeah. Kevlar. Of course. Why, I didn't think of that."